أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سدد لساني نوير جناني صفي أماني وزيد برائي. Viewers of Echo from TOUBA, welcome to the program again. Echo from TOUBA happening on Lamphal Television every Wednesday at 3 o'clock, a rerun on Sunday night, inshallah. But first, before we start, long life to our Caliph, Sheikh Muntakha. May Allah give him a long life again and help him with all the tasks he's having, inshallah, in our community. We're so proud of him with everything he has done for us, especially since the pandemic. I mean, the beginning of the coronavirus, the stand he's been having. Today, we delighted to have a friend of ours, by Demba Sek, coming from New York. Welcome, brother.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome to the show again.
Thank you. Thank you.
A pleasure to have you. Actually, he's a member of NST, which is the Ndawi Serigne Touba Youngsters for Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, living in America, of course. He attended over there in New York, ASA College of Criminal Justice. Right now, he's a business holder into a car business. We're going to come back to that, inshallah. Mr. Demba Sek, you are a member of this particular group of Ndawi Serigne Touba. What was this particular group created?
Well, S.Fallou, first of all, I'm going to start by saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam
back
wa
to you.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And as I always do too, I have to say A'udhu billahi bismillah inna wali Allah. Jërëjëfati Serigne Touba, jërëjëfati Serigne Touba, jërëjëfati Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba Khadim Rasoul. We are praying God to give long life to our Caliph, Serigne Muntakha al-Bashir, and also to the biggest Taliban of Yoonu Murid, which is Serigne Cheikh Jëmmu Fall, who is the grandson of Mam Cheikh Ibrahima Fall. Definitely a big pleasure and incommensurable happiness to be here today in front of you to share this stage with you today. So I'm looking forward to answer your questions, and then going through the Echo of Murid with a big pleasure, Mr. S.Fallou.
Beautiful. When I heard of Ndawi Serigne Touba, that they came to the Magal again with all the gifts, the hidayahs, and also what they stand for in our community, I was so proud of them. Reason why I just called them, I mean, for this particular show, for people to understand what they stand for. Reason why, again, I want to know when this particular group was created.
Yes, as you know, there is an event that's happening in the United States of America, particularly in New York City, which is called Bamba Day, very famous event, which has been happening since 1980, if I'm not wrong. With one, I gotta say this is one of the Jambar al-Islam, Serigne Murtala, son of Serigne Touba Khadim Rasoul, who's always, you know, been helping the Islam community, the Islamic community in the United States of America, not just Muridism, but the Islamic community in the United States of America. So he made this happen in 1980, and then since then we've seen our parents, you know, doing all their best to make that event successful. So one day we all sat down and spoke to ourselves, and then we was like, okay, since we all grew up, and then we grew up in the Yoonu Murid, so why not today, you know, just take the work and then let our parents go rest. And this happened in 2017, right before the Bamba Day, and then we had a, an outside cooking. You know, we had a cookout. You know, we had a cookout. We bought a lot of ndawal and stuff, and then we went to the park and we made it happen. And then, you know, so we could invite all the youth, because before you tell them what they can understand, you gotta call them to something that they're interested in. You know, so we organized a cookout, and a lot of people, they did not even understand. So
they came for the food first, right?
They came for the food, and then the thing is, nobody ever saw a diet happening in the park, and then we called them and then we spoke to them, and we was like, today we're not here to celebrate anything. We're not here to talk about, you know, the modernism or something like that. We're here to talk about Serigne Touba, you know. And then we spoke to them about the idea that we had, which is to create a non-profit organization, which is Ndawi Serigne Touba. I know we're gonna go through it, like, you know, inside the show. And then we explained to them it was a few group, a small group, you know, a few members of NST now that was there, and then thanks God, things are going great since then. So NST was created in July 2017.
2017.
Yes.
And also, I'm sure the elders, they did a lot to maintain, inshallah, what the legacy of Serigne Touba over there.
Yes.
It wasn't easy after 9/11, you know, everything that happened over there in America. Was it easy for you guys at the beginning?
Well, you know, Yoonu Murid, we are used to that because the main creator of Yoonu Murid, Serigne Touba Khadim Rasoul, he went from moon and back, you know, to make his legacy, you know, be maintained.
Right.
So of course we knew the task that we had was not going to be easy. We're doing our best. We're doing our best now, but at the beginning it was really hard because a lot of elders, they did not understand the main idea that we had and what we wanted actually to make.
There was a dramatic change in terms of how they used to run stuff over there.
I mean, yeah, because, you know, like our mentality and their mentality is not the same, you know, because even today, me and my dad at home, the way I see things and the way he sees things are not the same,
right?
You know.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you know, we ended up, you know, by the tawfiq of Serigne Touba, we actually ended by, you know, understanding each other, you know, making it smooth. So we are working together now. Mika, Lakasai, that's even where I had to start. You know, we are really thanking them, you know, because they are helping us. They are helping us, you know, kind of moving step by step in Yoonu Murid, and that's a great thing for Yoonu Murid too.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then you just mentioned Mika. Is Mika still, I mean, out there doing stuff like they used to, or?
Oh my God.
It's dying off because of other groups?
Mika are amazing.
Is it?
Mika's like, because the mentality of Muridism they have, they exported it to the United States of America, you know, and Americans, everybody knows that they are great workers. They never let themselves down.
Absolutely,
you know? Like the famous quote that everybody knows: "Time is money." That's what they do. And Mika, they actually adapted that mentality and they're working on it. So without Mika, I do not think that everything that you know, the Murid like squad, what we achieved in the United States of America, like it could have happened. So they still maintaining that mentality, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing, and I'm definitely, you know, applauding them, you know, with my two hands, because Mika are great, and they still alive. They still alive.
So how do you guys structure, or the structure of this group actually that goes from the president? How you guys organize it?
Well, the president is called Jorin, as every director here in Senegal. But you know, since we want to modernize a lot of stuff, we have a president who's named like Josi Mohammed Serigne Mohammed Josimbai. You know, and we have a vice president who's named Mbake Serigne Mbake Cham, and we have a lot of specific, you know, committees that are led by other NST members too. You know. Which is one of mine. Like I'm the head of communication, porte-parole as we call it here in Senegal. Yeah, and we have an event planner. We have a head of organization. We have a lot of committees in Ndawi Serigne Touba. So we are well organized.
Right. And in terms of culture also, I've seen, like, you see the Baifals with the Baifal Lahasai, you see the Murid with our Maktoum, and also I've seen most of your pictures when I kind of follow you guys on Ndawi Serigne Touba page on Facebook and stuff. I've seen those kind of Lahas, I mean, clothing special. Is it this special outfits you guys having for Ndawi Serigne Touba, or is this a trend over there in New York?
Well, that too, because you know, I'm gonna mention this code that Serigne Touba has wrote. Touba li habdin muridin sa'rihid lahum li khidmatin aw bi hubbin aw adiyat.
MashaAllah.
Whoever wanna be in Yoonu Murid, you gotta adapt the way that Sheikh Ibra did to reach this way of success. So that's definitely the same kind of way that we're trying to copy. So if you wanna success in Yoonu Murid, if you wanna have the ngurum of the caliph or the Sheikh as we call it, you gotta be copying Sheikh Ibrahim Fall. And whoever knows Sheikh Ibrahim Fall knows him as someone who's wearing a lot of lakhasai. Like, you wear a clothes that could be dirty at any time. You wear a clothes that you could be working with.
You gotta be ready for work.
You gotta be ready for work, because that's the main mindset of Yoonu Murid. So that's definitely what we're trying to copy. And thank God our Jordan, he's a big big fan of Imam Sheikh Ibrahim Fall.
And
yeah, and in each association that you are gonna reflect the image of the one who's leading it, and thanks God, we are so grateful, and we can thank God enough to be having the leader that he is.
MashaAllah. Yeah. Hats off to Josie. Thank you again, Echo from TOUBA, having today our brother by Demba Sek. Again, he's the communication, head of communication of Ndawi Serigne Touba. Salam to all the members of Ndawi Serigne Touba. Echo from TOUBA, again, like the page. Follow us on YouTube, but also Instagram and all social media available. Again, the only purpose of the show is to spread the teaching of Serigne Touba for others to have opportunity to know who Serigne Touba is, his real teaching from the source, actually, inshallah. And having young minds like the brother here really will help do that, inshallah. And just as he said, in our community, work as you will never die, and pray Allah as you will do it, you'll die tomorrow. So if you have a mindset like that, alhamdulillah, that is the best thing I love about these youngsters, their work ethic and the engagement in the spiritual path on the side of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. If you talk about a group like Ndawi Serigne Touba, an organization, he's got to be legally adopted in America.
Yes.
Do you have like legal papers over there? Recognized by the city?
Thank you very much for asking me that questions, because we are very, very concerned about that fact. Because in the United States of America, and I'm advising the Senegalese government to have the same mindset, the same spirit. Because like if you're in a country, you got to be organized. Like it's not just every group of people can just wake up one day and then be like, we are gonna like be a group that are going to have something, that are going to make something happen without being legalized by the government. And over there, as you know, because you've been there, every single person, even if you have a business being held by yourself, you got to have legal papers to go on. So in that optic, Ndawi Serigne Touba, we have our legal papers because we adopted the mindset of a non-profit organization. Because so whoever that have heard about NST in the past, now you got to know that NST is a non-profit organization. If I can say it in French, it's a non-lucrative association, an organization that are not based in a financial wise, a financial way, if I can say it that way. So all we do is trying to help the community, is trying to change the mindset of the youngsters, of the young Moorish that are living in the United States of America, of those young people that does not respect their parents, or if you do not know nothing about your religion, which is Islam, because we are called young Murids, but we are also concerned by the well-being of all Islamic people,
Muslims,
all Muslims. All Muslims got to be concerned by NST. So in that optic, like we have a non-profit organization, and then we're trying to help everybody that is calling yourself a Muslim.
A Muslim.
Yes.
MashaAllah. So how do you do it? I mean, the approach of it, is it you go to the kids, I mean the youngsters, or they come to you, having like space like houses, Serigne Toubas, like go to the parks, places where they come and they come to join you or to learn from you. How do you guys do it? You do it from the Serigne Touba or somewhere else?
Okay, for that question, I'm gonna come back to Mika. I'm gonna come back to Mika and the great job that they have actually reached. Like the great job that they have actually done. I could say it that way, because if they did not have a Serigne Touba or those type of jaka, as jaka Singh Khas or jaka, by the way, I'm a great my Muslim my Murid brothers that are in Soppe Sheikhul Khadim on 116, Sansays, as everybody knows, you know, because we have a lot of places that we can grade, that we can sit down, that we can go, learn Quran, learn Hadith, sit down, talk, sit down, have our meetings. So time to times, like one Sunday in a month, we call for a meeting, a big meeting. But also we are so down to earth. If we see somebody that is going to the left path, sometimes we go to you. We don't care if you curse us out, if you tell us some type of words that we don't appreciate or anything like that. We just see that that's our mission to do that, and then we do that. So we call people, we go to your house. If you have problems with your parents, we do our best to sit down with you. So we've done a lot of great you know, actions as those, and Yeah, so we go to people and we try to talk to them. We try to do our best to make them come in the right path.
Inshallah. Is it inclusive? Do you have a lot of girls attending, or it's just?
Yes, we even have a female committee.
Oh, you do?
We even have a Sokhna committee. So it was led by Sokhna Aja Filifal, who's now occupied by other activities. So now we are trying to reach another leader, and which is going in a very, very, very good way. Yeah.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
Are you getting a good response from the community? Is it now into a well heard in New York, or people are they responding to that, to your call?
Yes, from the beginning it was not easy for people because they see that people that goes to the United States are always chasing the money, you know.
Time is money.
And if you tell them that, okay, we are youngsters, but we want to work for Serigne Touba, we want to work for Islam, because working for Serigne Touba is basically working for Islam.
Absolutely.
Because if you cannot call yourself a murid if you're not a good Muslim. So at the beginning it was not easy at all, because some people, they did not adapt the idea or the mindset that we wanted to make people understand. But right now we're doing very great. People are understanding what we're coming from and where we want to go, which is a very good thing. So now we are getting a very good response from people. Yeah, from elders and youngsters as well.
Can you kind of cite some of your achievements right now over what you have done over there in New York?
Definitely, definitely. I know I cannot be listing all of them because we've done so much by the help of Serigne Touba.
Beautiful.
But I could give you some because just recently, in 2018 or 2019, unfortunately, one of the Senegalese youngsters, he was Muslim, he's Muslim, he's Murid, he was shot by one of those American guys. You know? And then after that,
what was his name?
I forgot his name.
I think you do, right?
Yeah, I forgot his name, but I'll tell you later. And then I don't even know if he would appreciate for me to mention his name on TV.
Go ahead.
He was shot. He had a little problem with some American people, and then they shot him in the stomach. And then after that, our leader, during Muhammadu Josim Bakembai, he decided to gather all the Senegalese youngsters. You know, by the help of Allah, we called them in the consular, with the consul general du Senegal in New York and stuff, and then we sat down with them, we spoke with them, and then actually it was a great success because all of them, even though they were doing something bad on the street, it just needs one of us, one of NST members to pass by, they would stop, and that's a good impact, you know. So now we have a data Sheikh Ibra, who's led by other youngsters, like, you know, in parallelism, like with us. So those youngsters, they call themselves Ndawi Sheikh Ibra as well.
MashaAllah.
So we do our best to invite them in our activities. If we have an event coming up, we do our best to join our forces and do those type of stuff, which is a very good achievement as well. And then in the time of Corona, like NSC, we are a non-profit organization. We definitely have our freedom to collect our own money. We can ask, like, every single month, every NSC member has to give $20 on your own pocket. And we don't tell you this is we are gonna put it here or put it there. We just gather it. So just in case if any of us needs help, we use that money to help those people. So in the time of Corona, we did not have no distinctions. Like, whoever needs it, you gotta be Murid, Tijan, Lion, just be a Muslim.
Just need it.
We just know you're struggling because you're not working, you don't have papers or any of those. We call you and we give you some of that money. And then Serigne Mamor Mbake, who's our Njatige, I can call it. Yeah, so he really appreciated that thing that we did. And then recently when we went to Serigne Touba to Ziyar the Sheikh, we went to him first because he's the one that allowed us to have Ndawi Serigne Touba, because as everybody knows, Serigne Murtala Mbake, he was always sent by the Caliph of Serigne Touba, you know, abroad, abroad, like to United States, to Europe, to everywhere. So Serigne Mamor took that work from him when he passed away. So Serigne Mamor had to give it that allowance for us to make it happen. So he really appreciated that fact, and us too. After that we have done it, we realized how big it was, because everybody was saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. In the time of Corona, it was really hard. So that one too was one of our achievements too.
MashaAllah. I mean, like you said, it's going to be hard to list it. And Alhamdulillah, talking about Serigne Mamor also, what he represents, he's the one really representing the community aboard.
Yes.
After Serigne Murtada of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba Khadim Rasul. Beautiful. And also, again, Echo from TOUBA, we having Baydemba Sek visiting from New York City, communication head of Ndawi Serigne Touba, an organization over there, doing everything possible to help communities to join forces in order to spread the message of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. I just wanted to ask you about how culturally vibrant, intellectually, in New York is. And we have one of the biggest intellectuals that ever lived, Sheikh Al-Khadim. That means his heritage, what he left, is huge, humongous in terms of writings, in terms of knowledge. Are you associating that part of Sheikh Al-Khadim in your work?
Definitely. Are we going to go to the United States of America? Most of us are going to school. Most of us, as you just mentioned it, are intellectuals. Like, they go into school, some of them has bachelors. And actually, our Jordan right now, he just went back to school doing engineering. So, because we just want to change the face or the face of Mourism in the United States of America. Because a lot of people over there, as the American, they just grade you before we started the show. They are people that love sitting TOUBA because they love the way he wrote his things, because they know this is not a human being that is talking. This is above that. But if we don't be intellectuals, like, how are we going to make that work be obvious? How are we going to make American people actually understand this? So we are definitely associating that part of it, and we are calling whoever we know that you got some knowledge, we are calling you to come to us, help us. And among us, we have a cultural like committee in the Ndawi Serigne Touba. We do Al-Quran, we do Hasidas, but also in terms of French, English, or translating the books of Serigne Touba. If we have an opportunity to do it, we always take that chance.
Beautiful.
And we do so.
I'm sure it's going to come, though, seeing your dedication, and also seeing I've seen certain centers like Nailul Maram Center. I've been following their lectures, and it's beautiful and very enlightening in terms of the teaching of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. The reason why I ask you is a lot of people want to know about Serigne Touba, and it's more when people explain them about the Sheikh, it's more so some stories that is really sometimes obvious, sometimes they're not. But if we teach them, show them the writings, what Serigne Touba's loved in terms of his memorabilia, it's going to be obvious that they're going to love Serigne Touba, because no one will never heard anyone who will have a legacy comparable to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. Is it the houses of Serigne Touba over there in New York, it's been used for a purpose right now? If I walk into a house of Serigne Touba right now, will I find some books that are translated already? Or there's going to be people over there sitting, waiting for me, for instance, to explain to me the teaching I'm talking to you right now?
Well, as of now, I'm even going to profit from the occasion to ask for everybody to pray for us, because the house of Serigne Touba in New York, which is like one of the first ones that Serigne Touba has abroad, is now in construction. It's been years that it's not done yet. So right now,
the one in Harlem?
Yeah, in Harlem, the one in Harlem. Yeah, they put it down and they're rebuilding it. And it's been years though, and we cannot wait for it to be done. But yeah, to come back to your questions, I don't know about Mika and them, because they was in charge of that house. But us, since NST was born, we are doing our best to translate a lot of codes of Serigne Touba, some in Nahju, some in a lot of other Hasidas, and put it in some type of projection. I'm gonna send you some pictures and some videos that you're gonna put so people can understand more, the viewers. And we do our best also every time that we have meeting to put those projections on the side. So if any American people pass by, even though you won't understand the language that we're speaking, you could just go on the side, and one of the members usually is the vice president, because I gave him that task, because I'm like, Vice, Jordan is here talking, and I'm the head of communication talking. So if you're at the meeting and you're not doing nothing, be sure every time you explain to people that pass by who really is Serigne Touba. And as you can see it, Serigne Touba is nothing but dararin. So all the time, people, they go to those to those projections, like trying to understand what is written in this. And every time they understand, they are more interested, to the point that they ask you your number, as the guys just did. They ask you your number. They ask like a local where you guys can meet and stuff, which is the main idea of the mission. So yeah, we're doing our best to make that happen in the United States.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Also, America being a very a land of pop culture, some kind of, I mean, things are going fast, technology, hip hop. Oh, how you guys resist? What's your recipe you use in order to really not to be involved in and not other people also being impregnated on that particular culture? What is it? The Hasidas of
Serigne Fallou Hasidas. Hasidas. Serigne Touba said karamati khati yabdi.
Right.
Karamati khati yabdi. Ma kiramas is what I've written in my hands.
Right.
You know, the Hasidas. If you start and end by the Hasidas, you're never gonna be like, you know, you're never gonna be Americanized as they say it.
Right.
Because like America is a country that is full of different cultures. You know, they have a lot of cultures combined.
Right.
So if you someone that goes there because of that, okay, you're gonna fall for yourself. You're gonna be amazed.
Right.
You'll be happy.
Right.
But us, as me, I came today to the show with my dad.
Right.
Because he always put in my mind.
Salam to your dad, by the way.
I came to the show with my dad because I'm happy when I share my knowledge, the little things that I know about Serigne Touba, because nobody can know Serigne Touba to the fullest. The little things I know about Serigne Touba, I don't want to lose it.
Right.
If I go there and follow Americans, because I'm from Senegal, a country full of knowledge and happiness, a country full of success, a lot of stuff that I cannot even like list. So why would I go there and then follow them in their path? Their path that are not gonna take them nowhere.
Right.
Me, I have a base, I have a culture, I have a mission to do, and I do not. And the most important point, we do not want to disappoint Serigne Touba. That disappointment
Right.
is like something that every single youngster, every single young murid should be thinking about. You don't want to disappoint Serigne Touba. So there, we are holding up to our culture, and we're doing our best to bring them to us, not them taking us to them.
Beautiful,
Yes, definitely,
beautiful.
definitely,
I mean, make sure that Sheikh Al-Khadim really, inshallah, is happy with the youngsters staying on the right path. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Even when we pray, we have to say it in every single prayer during the day. Staying on the right path is the way to do. That is the reason why Serigne Touba was here to help people to find a good way to return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of course, and also in terms of like the weapons you're using for you know, the devil, I mean, not really engaging in hip-hop and stuff, like you talk about the Hasiders. I've seen a lot of qurills, like circles of Hasiders. There's one really that is in my mind, the one of Cincinnati. I've seen these. When I listen to them, I'm like, were they trained by Hizb ut-Tarqiyyah? Because the level is really up there. Is it at the circles of the qurills in New York that are really standing also on that level?
Well, I will tell you something. I don't know what Senegal people they have from Serigne Touba,
right.
But I know we have a big part of Serigne Touba living there.
La ilaha illallah.
If Serigne Touba was a human being, a personality that we could see from our, like, you know, human eyes, I would definitely say that Serigne Touba is living in the United States of America. Because the way he's been like making people change. I will take myself as an example.
Right.
Serigne Touba transformed me. Like today, if a lot of people respect me, it's because of Serigne Touba. I am respected by my family, and I am respected by people that are even better than me. Serigne Touba is something that nobody can explain.
Right.
Because in 2018, I went to the Hasidah days of Louisville, and I sat down in a kurel. You can ask my dad; he could be a witness. Like years back in the days, years ago, if I ever heard the Hasidas, I would go away, and now I'm sitting down in the kurel. Thanks to Ndawi Serigne Touba. Sorry for being emotional, because
it's all right.
Whoever does not go, like out of Senegal, won't understand the impact that Serigne Touba can have in a person. You know. So if you mention the kurel of Cincinnati, they are more greater. I'm not saying the kurel of Cincinnati are not good. They're amazing. I love them because they're young, they're kids, but they are even way more better than them in the United States of America. They have a Hizb ut-Tarqiyyah, they have a kurel in Sope Sheikh Al-Khadim that I just mentioned. Us, we got created in 2017, in 2018. You know Hasidah days, Hasidah days that be happening in the United States, and we sad. Everybody was amazed, because if you want to reach good, Serigne Touba help you reach great. If you want to reach great, Serigne Touba help you reach greater. That's how he does.
That's
so we don't have anything else.
Are you a member of the kurel?
Yes.
Are you?
Definitely.
Can you kick some lyrics and from anyone like?
Well, you cannot say no to that. But I would.
Rabbi bi maestro.
Barakatul Lazi.
Bismillah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Barakatul Lazi wujud wal khidam. Khatwa jabal lana tun min khidam. Barakatul Lazi wujud wal khidam. Khatwa jabal lana tun min khidam. سبحان ذي البقاء والمخالفة من خادني أمنا بلا مخالفة ملك الذي خيام بنفس الوجب لو إلى كلية خاد العجب الحمد لله تعالى وحدك ما لمن له خرة والإرادة والهلم ما ياته الإبادة لمن له خرة والإرادة والهلم ما ياته الإبادة لمن له خرة والإرادة والهلم ما ياته الإبادة سبحان ربك رب العزة ما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Alhamdulillah, beautiful brother. I mean, again, by the Mbasek, beautifully done. Member of that chorale also of New York. What we heard here, this is examples to follow. Youngsters in Senegal thinking maybe when we think about America, they think of hip hops. Legends over there of music, and you've seen youngsters living Senegal who go to New York and America and really drastically change their life, not by Americans, by Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. This is something we should reflect on and understand that the one we have as an icon, as a role model, is just a gift, a blessing, one of a kind from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, authorized by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What a transition though, since we're going to come back to your visit in Senegal. You just came over as NST, right? Now you're going to visit Senegal.
Yes.
You met the Caliph. Tell us about that visit.
Oh, it was amazing.
Right.
Oh, it was amazing. I don't want to be emotional once again.
Right.
But literally, like, far, that's the greatest, the best day of. I could even like talk for like other NST members, because there is no such greater things than seeing Serigne Touba in person, you know. And he said it, like Serigne Touba, he does a tasrif, like the word says it in Arabic, like whoever is here for me, whoever is here leading my family, because the family of Serigne Touba is just not limited to those that he shared the same blood, because Serigne Touba said one day he called like all his family, like his blood family, he called them and put them on the side. He called everybody that is called his disciples, and then he put them on the side. He was like, you my family, you my blood family, please respect those people, because me, I don't have nobody else than them, and you, my disciples, respect my family, because they have only me. So I would rather be in the disciples than be in the family. So, but the Caliph of Serigne Touba, that's something else. He's into another world, you know.
Absolutely.
Just the fact that he was looking at us, just the fact that he was talking to me, you know, I cannot even explain how emotional I was that day. It was such an amazing experience, and he said a lot of touching words. He even said himself that he was a Ndawi Serigne Touba, because Ndawi Serigne Touba is just not limited by being an NST member from the United States of America, but also if you are somebody that's living and trying to hold the legacy of Serigne Touba, you could also call yourself Ndawi Serigne Touba. It was not only him, we also saw Serigne Hamza Mbake, Ibn Serigne Souhaïb Mbake. We also saw Serigne Mamour Mbake, as I said it earlier, who's our Njatige in Yoonu Murid. It was such an amazing day. Far the best day of my life. The best day of my life.
Because what caught my mind in that meeting was when the Sheikh talked about the Hasidas, and he said someone was attempting to translate. He said, no, I want to save myself, talking about the Hasidas. And what did he say about the Hasidas? Because there was big words over there.
Well, as he always said it, because I even started, because the bayit that Serigne Touba is mentioning in his Hasidas, one of them was saying, wajhal kitabati min sal yawmi fa salati khubilat wa sawmi. Serigne Touba said his Hasidas are even, God accepted them even way more than a prayer, a salah, or anything else good in Islam. So. And then I'm pretty sure that word that I said, like put him in another dimension. And then even people told me after he went inside, he even put everybody outside because he was in another world.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, and then he, as you know, Sidi Muntaha, he's crazy about knowledge. He loves knowledge. And the proof is this university that he's trying to make in place. So that day he was very happy. And then the Hasidus that we recited in there, I bet that he was thinking about those youngsters that are not even living in Senegal and who's loving Serigne Touba this much, and whoever knows Serigne Muntaha knows he's the only the love is his life.
Alhamdulillah, thanks brother. Again, Echo from Touba. You can follow us on Wednesday at 3 p.m. and also a rerun on Sunday night. Echo from Touba. You can follow us on YouTube as well, Instagram, and all social media available. Thanks also to Aliou Chun, head of Lamfal Television, for this opportunity to spread the message of Serigne Touba. I'm so proud of youngsters like this again, living abroad, you know, living the life, living into the spirit of Serigne Touba. It's a big plus when you see what's going on in Africa, in Senegal. You know, when they think of culture, hip hop, they think it's another way. But you've seen people who went firsthand, you know, lived in New York, lived in America, and also it's like having a second thought and just grasp the spirit of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, like my brother he's doing, Sheikh Dembasek, and I'm sure many other youngsters over there. When you visited Sheikh Muntaha, he said something about Hasidas that is very poignant, I mean, grasping. He said, Hasidas is the word, Hasidas is the thing. If it was a jihad, a war, it's like the first rank up front will be the people of the Hasidas. It's like he's urging everyone to really reconsider, I mean, Hasidah, learning and, you know, spreading knowledge of Hasidah.
Well, as Serigne Touba said it himself, the day we go in front of God, whoever be praising the name of the Prophet Muhammad, if we say only one bayt of Muhaddimat al-Amda, that person will like the flag of Islam to whoever said that bayt. So if Hasidus have that impact, as Serigne Touba said it in Hajar Khasaidi, Khulub al-Anbiya ma'al malaikati hinda rabbiya, ma Hasidus make all the Anbiyas happy, and even the prophets and the angels. So what are the Hasidus? What are the Hasidus? What are the real like power of the Hasidus? So Serigne Muntaha al-Bashir, Moyay, as we say in Wolof, Moyay, respecting the Hasidus as like this much and loving the Hasidus this much. And the Hasidus are the main key of the success door of every human being's life. I wish every young people understood how Hasidus could change the life of a person. How Hasidus could be like, you know, putting you in a definitely. Like how Hasidus could La ilaha illallah isn't in my Hasidus. All secrets are in the Hasidus. All secrets. I earlier mentioned the bayt. We just prayed, and Serigne Touba said, "Mahazah are even better than prayers." But whoever does not believe to it, like you cannot be understanding the main meaning of that, you know. Which means if you like follow the path of Hasidus, you're never gonna stop praying, and whatever is holding you up with prayers is whatever leading you to Jannah.
Absolutely.
So Hasidus are just amazing. Just amazing. I cannot talk about Hasidus.
I just love them. That you've been emotional a while ago.
I just love
them. And also that's the reason why you went also to see Serigne Hamza, because he's widely known in terms of helping youngsters here in Hasidus, and in especially a famous Hasidah called Jalibatul
Marahib. Serigne Hamza is like great, amazing, a great creature of God, because he's one of them. You know, we went to him. He gave us such a very big importance. He even came out a day that he was not supposed to, because as you know, the Serigne Touba family, all they do is Jamu Yallah, and Julli ci Yonent bi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that day he advised all the people that lives in his house that he was not going to come out. But once he heard that the Nawi Serigne Touba is from New York City, because before that one of our members went to visit him, and then he told him that he was one of us, because Nawi Serigne Touba, ku xam lu baax, you will want to be part of it.
Absolutely.
So that day he came out for us. He did a few ziyars and stuff, and he took us inside the room. to speak to us, and he even asked us, okay, the Quran that I saw here, because we're trying to, this much important part that I even forgot, we're trying to make in place a Ndawi Serigne Touba Senegal, so they can hold the work here. So he even asked us, like, the Quran that I saw earlier, because he gave us legal to recite a few bayt of Mu'aybu Nafi, and we did such it. So, and then he asked me, did you guys know each other? I guess it was in Baton, because he did not know any of us until that day. I came, he mentioned my name. I was like, how did you know that? And then he kept saying, oh, this is by them, this is by them. And then he was like, sit right next to me. And then I sat right next to him. He started asking me questions. But the most important thing to him was the Hasidus. He asked me, did you guys know each other? I was like, no. Most of us, this is the very first time that we see each other. This guy is sitting more. I'd never seen him. We knew each other through social media. He used to send me Hasidus and stuff. And that guy, like, I was just giving you an example. That guy was my high school friend, and I haven't seen him, like, it's been 7 years. But today the Hasidus reunited us, and he was amazed. He was like, Allahu Akbar, you know. So that's the main impact of Hasidus. And then, yeah, definitely, you definitely right. We went to visit him because of the love we carry in our hearts for Hasidus.
Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, a day that the world will unlock the secret of the Hasidus of Serigne Touba is going to be the day the world will be saved. Hopefully, it's going to happen. I'm sure it's hinted it's going to happen from abroad, because youngsters are very engaged in terms of learning, in dedication to the work of Sheikh Al-Khadim, Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba Khadim Rasul. Also, what's going to be your future plans in terms of your planning first to do in America when you guys go back?
Well, our first and biggest plan is right now we want to make happen to have a youth house of Serigne Touba. Like a house in New York. Because we've seen that, you know, unfortunately, but I have to say it, like the work they are doing in the Serigne Touba that we used to have is kind of very, very, very slow, you know, and we cannot wait.
Is it a lack of money, or?
It's not a lack of money. Serigne Touba has everything.
Right.
We have money.
What's holding the work?
We have everything. It's just like some complication going through, you know, the Senegalese crowd, the Mika community. You know, so
is it a conflict between the youngsters and the elders?
No, there is no conflict, but it's just between them and the people that gotta take care of the construction.
Right.
So we just cannot wait anymore. So we are praying God and Serigne Touba Khadim Rasul to give us the strength to make it happen, to have a house that are going to be held by Ndawi Serigne Touba. So we can go there we can go there, you know, even if you come from Senegal and you don't have somewhere to stay, we have a lot of projects and you know, and things that we want to make happen in that house, which is going to be.
You have to keep on going.
Yeah, we are keeping going, and we really want to buy that house, and it needs money. So we are doing our best to collect that money right now. That's one of our biggest projects. And then second, as I just mentioned it, we came here 2 weeks ago having a meeting with NST Senegal, those people who are interested by joining NST and are living in Senegal, you know, and we came here. They really, really, really liked it. They loved it. They loved the idea because they've been following us. Because our main work, we put it through social media. We make sure that people that cannot reach to us like physically, they can see us like virtually. So, which reach people from Senegal, and then they love the work that we are accomplishing there. So we are making it happen right now. And onto that, we have a general assembly this upcoming November 1st. So it's going to happen in the Parcel Asani, so they can have their own board, president and stuff, and then we're going to keep going, keep following, so that we can have an NST Senegal happening in here.
Oh, so let's spread it out all around the world.
It's already done.
Right.
It's
already international over there.
Yes.
Beautiful. Yes. And also, what is your advice to youngsters watching you right now? All over the world, seeing Baye Demba living in New York. He's an intellectual, of course, head of the communication group, and also went to SA College of Criminology. And right now, pouring knowledge, like spiritual power from Sheikh Al-Khadim. What is your advice to them if they want to follow your step?
Well, I wouldn't say follow my step because I did not reach greatness yet. But so far, what I've learned from life is just one choice. You got to make choices. Whether you go to the right path or you go to the wrong one.
The opposite, right.
And the right one, if it was a car, I would say Serigne Touba was the driver. If it was a government, I would say Serigne Touba was the president.
Right.
and the right path is Islam. Follow your religion. Be wise. Be a Holly, as they say in the United States of America.
Right.
Like they be calling you a Holly boy if you're not one of them.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But be a Holly because that's the only thing that at the end of the day is gonna lead you to be like to not have a conflict with your own self. You know what I mean? So right now, the youth, we don't understand. We don't understand what life is really about. Because all we think is life is about like having cars. Nice clothes, it's part of it.
Material.
It's part of it, but you got to be mature. You got to have maturity, and having maturity is having a good and strong base, which is religion. Whether you be murid, tijan, layan, khadr, just follow the right path. But if you can follow Serigne Touba,
right.
Because as I just said it, if it was a car, he was the driver.
Right.
If it was a company, he was the owner.
Right.
If it was a government, he was the president. So follow the one who's going to take you in the fastest way to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who's Serigne Touba. That's the only advice that I'm giving them.
Beautiful.
Go to school, finish your studies. Because I'm trying to do my best to finish my studies.
Beautiful.
Because in a matter of few years, if you're not an intellectual, it's going to be hard for you to gain money. Like God did not say nothing to nobody. Nobody knows who's gonna succeed or not, or something like that. But most like it's more common sense if you go to school, having your diploma in your pockets, and then planning on rich success. So that's the only advice I'm giving to them right now. And pray 5 times a day.
Right. MashaAllah.
Read Quran.
MashaAllah.
Because you cannot call yourself Muslim, as we said here. Julli. You cannot call yourself Muslim if you don't pray. If you don't pray. And I see here like a lot of youngsters, like even when you pray, you amaze them. Like, oh, you pray? Bro, this should be part of the routine. This should be part of your life. Prayers. How are you planning on being closer to God if you don't pray?
If you're not praying. Right.
Because whenever that's the only time during the day that you are that close to God subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because as he said it, he's right in front of you. That's why you gotta wear nice clothes, put cologne on, and go pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It does not even take you 5 minutes of your time.
Right.
Go pray, respect your parents, which is a very important point. Because no youngster is not gonna reach success if you don't respect your your parents.
Beautiful.
They are the basics of everything. I've heard a lot of stuff. I've heard a lot of people saying that every time that you used to go to him, the first thing he would ask you, how are you doing with your parents? If the relationship is not good, he wouldn't talk to you. If the relationship is good, then he would open his hands for you. So why not respect your parents? Because they are the ones that brought you to earth. So respect them to the fullest, and you will reach greatness and success the way you want to.
Respect your parents to the fullest. I mean, there's no need to extrapolate on that. Beautifully said by Demba. Outdoors are always open. You're the head communication over there with the Serigne Touba. All the videos you're having, guys, we can do it over here. Put it on Echo from Touba, a window for you guys in order to pass communication. Inshallah. Also, we in the month of Rabiul Awwal. I mean, this is the month of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The relationship with the Prophet is Serigne Touba. Well know, mahabbati al-mukhtar, sayyidina, hubbil maghani, wal ahli, wal walada, dammi, wa ahli, wa awladi, fidahu lahu. What a beautiful expression from Serigne Touba, that everything I had was given. I mean, the love of dunya, the love of money, love of wealth, everything I kind of gave it out because of the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's our Shaykh, Shaykh al-Khadim. This makes also the end of the show, inshallah. Until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Jërëjëf Serigne Touba. Jarama Mam Cheikh Ibrahima Fall. Thanks, brother, for coming.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it. That was very good.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.